So hello and thank you for joining me this afternoon. I am sure you had other choices, but you chose to be here with me, and I am appreciative. My name is Laval Warren, Sickle Cell Account Manager for American Red Cross. Blood collections in communities of color. I will begin by giving you a little insight about my role here with American Red Cross. My role is to partner with churches, educational institutions, businesses of the African American communities, and Black community-based organizations that serve, support, and or have a workplace made up of diverse employees, including Black and African American members of the community, to build awareness of the need and benefits to diverse blood donations. I am especially here to implement programs to enhance Black blood donor recruitment during this COVID-19 pandemic. We have an urgent need for more diverse blood donors. Here you see my agenda today. I will not go through each one of them, but I just want to go ahead and begin. The American Red Cross is an organization fully committed to diversity and inclusion. Part of that aspiration includes maintaining a diverse blood supply, which enables us to meet a broad range of patient needs. Blood collections in communities of color are needed greatly beyond measure. Today, I will share with you an overview how a blood program benefits you, the community, and the impact of saving lives. The humanitarian mission of the American Red Cross connects us to people and communities across the nation and around the world. The common bonds of humanity and compassion unite us together, not just in the face of emergencies and disasters, but in helping our neighbors every day. The Red Cross is the single largest supplier of blood and blood products in the United States. There is no other organization providing the depth of services that we provide to nearly every community in the United States and around the world. Blood serves as a critical, irreplaceable part of our nation's healthcare infrastructure, and we are stewards of this precious resource. The American Red Cross, we're down the street, we are across the country, around the world, through our disaster cycle services, blood services, preparedness, health and safety services, international, and service to the armed forces. From donor to patient, we shepherd blood on its life-saving journey. Through our community support programs in the form of disaster relief, our service to military service members through our life-saving blood program, our emergency preparedness programs, including CPR and first aid training by medical services, community impact, and our beloved volunteers. Our mission has not stopped due to COVID-19. We made the necessary modifications in a way to continue to support communities across America and abroad with ongoing COVID-19 training. We are taking precautions to help ensure the safety of our employees, volunteers, and donors by continuing servicing our region locally. At home, we've responded to 1,110 local disasters and provided assistance to 3,223 people, distribute over 2,000 relief supplies, meals, and snacks after a disaster. We've collected 114,446 blood donations at more than 5,000 blood drives. We've delivered over 2,500 services for military families, veterans, We've held 523 training classes in life-saving skills in CPR and first aid. Lastly, supported by 1,685 beloved Red Cross volunteers. We couldn't do it without them. And if you've spent any time in Center City, you may have noticed our flags throughout throughout Center City. And I kind of put a little sample there for you to see. Our commitment to diversity and inclusion. The people served by American Red Cross, as well as our volunteers, employees, donors, and suppliers, represent different cultures, racial and ethnic backgrounds, ages, lifestyles, beliefs, and philosophies. People, by promoting diversity and inclusion within our workplace, we seek to develop a workplace that better reflects our country and communities. We serve by enhancing outreach to diverse communities to ensure better representation in our workforce and establish a stronger relationship within our Black and Brown communities. Culture, cultivating a work environment that empowers all contributors. Our employees and volunteers are required to complete diversity training, also by having extended team member resource groups that complement the existing organizational affinity groups where Red Cross staff can connect with peers from their community. These groups represent Black, Latino, LGBTQ, and veteran communities, among others. Community, leveraging diverse partnerships through our supplier diversity integrated team, proactively seeking women, disabled, and minority business enterprises to work through our supplier diversity program, working with more than 30 actively managed diverse partners to deliver our life-saving by understanding and engaging the communities we serve about how to meet their needs. African American contributions to Red Cross and serving the African American community have a long-standing history and have played key roles with the American Red Cross. The picture and names you see here played key roles with American Red Cross. In recognition of Black History Month, it is crucial that we highlight the inspirational Black figures of the world and American Red Cross. Highlighting Dr. Charles Drew, an African-American surgeon and researcher who was born in Washington, D.C. He was chair of the Department of Surgery at Howard University. Dr. Drew laid the foundation for blood banking through his pioneering work in blood collection and plasma processing. Dr. Drew served as first medical director of the first Red Cross blood bank. Dr. Drew developed the concept of mobile blood donation stations, later called blood mobiles, perfected the process of separating blood plasma from red blood cells, the same process we use to collect COVID-19 convalescent plasma. As the blood bank concept expanded in preparation for World War II, the United States Armed Forces directed the Red Cross to exclude African Americans from donating. Thus, Drew, a leading expert in blood banking, was ineligible to participate in this program he helped establish. The policy was soon modified to accept blood donations from African Americans, but the donations had to be segregated. Recognizing two Red Cross women who preserved and shaped our organization history here at American Red Cross, one whom we are very familiar with being the founder of the National Council of Negro Women, Mary McLeod Bethune. She was considered the first lady of struggle because of her commitment to gain better lives for African Americans. She was instrumental in establishing a relationship between American Red Cross and African American community in the early 1900s. Mary Jane McLeod Bethune was an American educator, humanitarian, womanist, and civil rights activist. Invited to two American Red Cross wartime conferences to discuss African American roles with the American Red Cross organization. Later formed Committee on Red Cross Activities. She was also appointed as a national advisor to President Franklin D. Roosevelt. She was one of 5 committee members who made recommendations on the Blood Plasma Project. About Frances Reed Elliott Davis, first African American to be accepted into the American Red Cross Nursing Service, 1918. As director of nursing training in Tuskegee, Alabama, and organizing the first training school for African American nurses in Michigan. Just highlighting a few of our African American contributions to Red Cross, who also play a huge role in today's Black history. Let's talk about diverse blood supply. Diverse blood is needed more than you think. When you give blood, you help save lives. Every blood donation is important, and maintaining a diverse blood supply is a priority to American Red Cross because of its importance to patients. Blood and platelets are needed for many different reasons. Accident and burn victims, heart surgery patients, organ transplant patients, and those receiving treatment for leukemia, cancer, or sickle cell disease may all need blood. However, diverse blood donors may have the unique ability to help patients with different illness or inherited diseases. For example, those with sickle cell anemia. Today, less than half of the blood we provide is from African American blood donors and has the markers for the most compatible match for sickle cell needs. This means we can only provide blood transfusion matching for sickle cell patients about 40% of the time. Whether the donor is Black, Hispanic, Caucasian, Asian, Native American, or from another ethnic population, every blood donation matters. Every 2 seconds, someone in America needs blood, and one donation can save up to 3 lives. Why do we need diversity in the blood supply? American Red Cross, we seek to collect 14,000 units daily. So that if you break it down, that's about 500 drives daily that we host. A diverse blood supply is crucial to the health and safety of diverse communities. Why? Not all blood is the same. There is more to a blood type than just A, B, or O. There are more antigens whose prevalence varies by race and background. Generally, the best blood match for a patient requiring frequent transfusions comes from donors of the same ethnic or genetic background. Donations have declined drastically. We believe this number has decreased of African American blood donors due to disproportionately high COVID-19 infection rate for African Americans compared to other groups. Also, the closure of donation sites or just a lack of sites in African American communities. The American Red Cross, we are committed to maintaining a diverse supply to ensure the right blood product is available at the right time, and every blood platelet donor has an important role in meeting that need. Blood donation propensity varies. African American population, 13%. Percentage of Red Cross donations, 3.6%, compared to Caucasian population 76%, and the percentage of Red Cross donations 86%. So you see, we have a lot of work to do in the African American communities. I stress diverse blood donors play a very important role in sickle cell treatment. In the next 4 years, we must nearly triple our African American blood donor base to close the gap in our ability to meet hospital demands and provide the most compatible units for patients with sickle cell disease. Sickle cell disease is the most common blood disorder in the United States, and it primarily impacts those of African American descent. We are currently working to expand blood drives into more Black communities, including working with diverse partners to host drives. Our goal is to be sure that when Black donors want to give blood, there are opportunities to donate nearby in their own communities. Again, sickle cell disease is the most common inherited blood disease in the U.S. It affects 100,000 people, largely African Americans. One of every 365 people are Black or African American born. Sickle cell disease may require up to 50 to 100 pints of blood each year to support a single patient. Sickle cell disease may require patients to receive lifelong blood transfusions. Why hosting a blood drive is so important. Blood products are essential for the treatment of accident trauma victims, mothers giving birth, premature babies, open heart surgeries, hip replacements, cancer treatments, prostate cancer, surgical and sickle cell disease patients, and many more. Every donation may help save up to 3 lives. It's simple. There is no substitute. On MLK Day, American Red Cross, we had the opportunity to partner with Global Citizens President Phil Bernstein and Girard College President Heather Wathington. And we host this drive. The drive was held at our Spring Garden location, and it was a success. The gentleman on the picture, you see thumbs up, is our board member and co-chair of our Diversity and Inclusion Committee, Ron Davis. So we roll up our sleeves and donate time, blood, and money through our humanitarian services. What is sickle cell disease? Sickle cell disease, again, I say this so much. Sickle cell disease is the most common genetic disease in the country. Sickle cell disease affects red blood cells. It makes them hard and sickle shaped instead of soft and round. Cause symptoms including extreme pain, acute anemia, tissue and organ damage, and strokes. As a result of the disease, blood has difficulty flowing smoothly and carrying oxygen to the rest of the blood. African Americans and sickle cell disease in our region. The American Red Cross of Southeastern Pennsylvania is comprised of Philadelphia, Bucks, Chester, Delaware, and Montgomery counties, serving a population of more than 4.1 million people. You see the red stars on the map, which indicates the states with the highest need for African American donors. Philadelphia, PA stands out. We are very proud of our partnership with CHOP and St. Christopher's Sickle Cell Donor Program. It is called the Blue Tag Program. Penn Jersey Blood Services Region's Sickle Cell Donor Program was developed in 1997 in cooperation with Children's Hospital of Philadelphia to meet the chronic transfusion needs of patients with sickle cell disease. The treating physicians at the time at CHOP recognized that the transfusion needs of chronically transfused sickle cell patients were going to rapidly increase and that better matching of extended blood types was needed. A blue tag is placed on blood donation from self-identified African Americans and Black identified blood donors. This blue tag identifies the unit as one designated for the sickle cell donor program, which prompts additional testing in order to match a sickle cell patient. African Americans and diverse blood can provide blood that is a better match for patients who suffer from sickle cell disease. Please take the opportunity to offer a brighter future to a child with sickle cell disease. Ask for the blue tag when you donate blood. Starting in April, American Red Cross will test for sickle cell anemia as part of our process. The Blue Tag Donor Program was very important to these two young men who benefited from the program at an early age. Twins, Christian and Christopher, born with sickle cell disease. While both boys have received transfusions, Christian with multiple transfusions since age 5. His brother Christopher has only needed a few transfusions in his lifetime. But through their combined struggles and triumphs, they have succeeded in becoming active, academically talented teens. This inherited blood disease has effects that can range from mild to devastating. I would like to share a story of a personal family friend. I've known Andrea DuBose since birth. Andrea DuBose, 39 years old, a blood recipient. To manage her sickle cell disease today, she receives monthly blood transfusions, 4 to 6 units. Andrea was diagnosed with sickle cell disease at an early age of 4 to 6 months, while both parents carrying the trait and unaware. Andrea continues to fight and knows without the generous blood donations, she would absolutely not be alive today. Andrea says she's not looking for sympathy, only blood donors. Andrea is a true warrior, earning her associate's degree in healthcare while spending many days, weeks, months in the hospital. How can you help children with sickle cell? Simply donate blood. When you donate blood and mark your race on the blood donor record, you are taking that extra step towards helping individuals with sickle cell disease or rare blood types. When you check your race, you help the Red Cross better search for rare blood types to best meet the needs of patients of all backgrounds. Make your donation count and check your race. 70% of African Americans have type O or B blood types, most in demand. I am hoping with the work of each organization in the community could be instrumental in helping us address this inequity and to close the gap and to close the sickle cell gap, to represent the population we serve, to help ensure blood products are available to meet diverse patient needs. A partnership as a blood program leader can directly help save lives and support our broader community mission. So let's all work together to protect a vital, diverse blood supply for all in need. Thank you, everyone. I appreciate your time. Thank you.